Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Red spy is in the base.
A red spy is in the base?
Protects the data!
We gotta protect the data! Yo, a little help here. Stand by and let my facts and logic handle this. Strawman fallacy, ad hoc. Let's go! Poisoning the well!
Oh, hey, look, the data's all fake.
Gentlemen.
How you going, lads? Batco here. Boy howdy, it has been a while. And you might be wondering what has made me come out from under my communally owned rock. Well, the scent of bullshit is something you can't get easily out of your nose. And when you're dealing with folks like Esoteric Entity, it's almost unbearable. Now, you might wonder, why would a group of ANCAPs be the centerpiece of my video? Could it be that they're walking oxymorons, reactionaries, fascist sympathizers? Well, for those who don't follow me on Twitter, I'll tell you why. Esoteric Entity has accused me, AnActualJoke, Mexi, Democratic Socialist 01, and ThoughtSlime of taking part in a doxing server, which is headed by AnActualJoke, and accused ThoughtSlime of pedophilia. Now, accusing me of taking part of quote-unquote doxing servers is nothing really new. But at least with those allegations, the data was made available from the get-go, and I would say in the grand scheme of things, I've emerged relatively clean on the other side. But what makes this particular scenario interesting is a man known as Operation Anarchism. However, before we start talking about Operation Anarchism, let's talk about our favorite ANCAP brainlet, Esoteric Entity, and the events that have transpired. Now, for those who don't know who Esoteric Entity is, he is an ANCAP YouTuber who takes pride in owning the commies with facts and logic. However, argue with him and you'll realize he's severely lacking both. On the 19th of June this year, I was awoken on ThoughtSlime revealing that he had been accused of pedophilia and other leftist YouTubers were responsible for taking part in AnActualJoke's Discord server. Now, this is a bit funny as neither Mexi or myself have been in any server owned by AnActualJoke. In a talk with AnActualJoke, she gave me logs to show that I haven't even been in her server. Hell, I haven't even been invited into the welcome log. Furthermore, although Democratic Socialist 01 was in a server owned by AnActualJoke, he left in January of this year. But regardless of this fact, Esoteric Entity insisted I'm in a doxing server that has been owned by AnActualJoke, along with leftist YouTubers. So, why would Esoteric Entity accuse me of being part of a Discord server I'm not a part of, and accuse me of doxing? Could it be that Esoteric Entity, who absolutely hates my guts, is a liar? But wait a minute, fellas. This is getting interesting. What's strange about this is that Esoteric Entity seems to hate the idea of doxing and spreading nudes, but with a bit of digging on Discord, we found these. Just so you know, I'm not fucking around when I say I have your personal info. I didn't want to give anything away because I figured you'd be smart enough to back off. But that's simply me falling prey to my normative bias of wanting to assume you're not a complete dickbag. Should have known you weren't going to be smart enough to back off because you screwed with me to begin with. You realize I could ruin your fucking life with a few phone calls, right? Do you, bitch? No. You don't, because you're a dumb little piece of shit who hasn't even been put in their place before. Some new copy-pasted material there for you, lads. Now, Esoteric Entity later stated that this was out of self-defense, as he was being targeted and harassed online. However, what's interesting is that the person who was quote-unquote harassing Esoteric Entity gave him his Steam account. Now, why would a doxer do that?
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
But surely, Esoteric Entity will try to contextualize this in some way, so I'll give something that's a bit more clear-cut. Esoteric Entity was willing to leak the nudes of a person named ANCAP Girl as an act of revenge. Now, Esoteric Entity tried to contextualize this in a recent video that he uploaded, which plays as follows.
Old screenshots, which again are completely out of context, and he and other leftists on Twitter are perverting what I said and accusing me of some nasty shit. I've made several posts about both, so I'll keep it simple. The one referring to AnActualJoke was in response to Voltaire saying something incredibly autistic in a similar vein to the Navy SEAL copy pasta, because Darth Revan had pissed him off, which AnActualJoke wasn't in the server at the time to see. She came back in and wondered what had transpired, and I sent this message to her to paraphrase what Voltaire had said in a comedically exaggerated way.
However, the evidence that we have paints a rather different picture. Here we have some screenshots of Esoteric Entity getting a little steamy with his missus, as well as a clear indication that he had seen the nudes. Considering what's been leaked, not a lot of his ANCAP followers seem willing to support this, and as you can tell, the fact that he's trying to keep this on the low really does give insight to the absolute shitheel this little doxing hypocrite truly is. And just to show that we're not photoshopping this evidence, here's a video from ANCAP girl herself, otherwise known as Boot, the video of which you can find in the description below, provided that it hasn't been false flagged first.
So basically, Esoteric Autism thinks that I faked the screenshot because he put a little filter over it and then he highlighted this area with a square or something. But here's the actual DMs. He's cut, by the way. And this is actually Eso. I'm really peeved that I actually have to make this video, but apparently Esoteric Entity really likes lying. So, see ya.
But to show how much of a brainlet he is, what's funnier is that Esoteric Entity suspected that the leftist YouTubers listed in this server were responsible for the attack of an LGBTQ artist. However, not only is this statement an outright lie, but there is archive evidence that a group of right-wingers were responsible for these actions which brought the artist to near death, the link of which can be found in the description below. So the fact that there is little to no evidence that Esoteric Entity has on us for being involved in the attack on this artist, or that me and Mexi were involved in any servers owned by AnActualJoke, really speaks volumes on how low this little shit cunt is willing to go. Now, when I looked at these posts leaking from his server, I discovered that the keeper of this quote-unquote data that wouldn't be released until July was none other than Operation Anarchism, otherwise known as Blue, or as he's known on YouTube, Operation Bluism. Now, what's strange about this is Esoteric Entity is keen on giving the evidence to Mr. Dapperton to use this as a form of slander against leftist YouTubers. But being the logical and sane-minded triple-digit IQ ANCAP that he is, he completely forgot that Operation Anarchism was the man who leaked Mr. Dapperton's docs of last year. I mean, God almighty, does this cunt really think that Mr. Dapperton's going to suck him off when you realize that this guy was the person who leaked his info? Furthermore, it's funny how Esoteric Entity loves to call us leftists communazis, but he's willing to collaborate with people such as Braving Ruin. Now, why would I bring up Operation Anarchism, aka Blue, into this conversation? What does his act of accumulating 2 gigabytes of data have to do with this entire drama? Well, remember when I said that there was no evidence that I was on an AnActualJoke server, even when it was conceived, and there was no proof that I had partaken in any acts of doxing or pedophilia, or was even in the welcome log? It has led me to believe that Operation Anarchism, aka Blue, is compiling a file of photoshopped images and quote-unquote evidence as an act of slander. Now, Batco, you might ask, why would you accuse Blue of photoshopping and forging evidence of you partaking in the dastardly deed of doxing? Well, the answer is simple. The man has done this before. On July the 18th, 2017, a close associate of Operation Anarchism, Ancom, or as he's known today as Journey, made a video quote-unquote exposing Badmouse and Mexi for preparing to send Antifa after them. The image reads as follows. Ancom and Ninja are racist, sexist homophobes who need to be taken care of by Antifa. I refuse to debate them. I don't need to. No platform for Nazis. Are you with me, Mexi? Now, I don't know whether it's the fake heart react from Mexi or the less than stellar font of text as well, just pretty much fucking everything about this fucking image. But when confronted about this, ANCOM eventually discovered that the image was fake and made an apology. Now keep in mind, the original video that has been shown in this screenshot is not available, as Journey would later make an apology video to both Mexi and Badmouse saying that he was fooled. However, that video isn't available either. So I'll be using a video that I made with Twist and other members of the Crossroads, which, ironically enough, was taken down by Operation Anarchism, which contains the audio of Journey making the apology after he had been bamboozled.
What has happened is that I was manipulated into sabotaging my channel through my paranoia about Antifa and identity politics. There have been radical leftists who oppose Antifa and IDPOL who actually do get targeted, and I logically went about this being true. This is what I thought happened. It wasn't. It was fake. It was a trick to manipulate me into starting a war with the intersectionalists, something I never wanted to begin with. I just wanted friendly debate to understand the other position through the Hegelian dialectic and come to the universal truth, whatever that may be. But it couldn't be like that. An individual who seems to know my mannerisms has taken advantage of me and tricked me into making this move. A move I never wanted to make. The other comment is even more obviously fake. The like bar below the text in the comment was way too close to the text. Comments on YouTube have a specific amount of space between both these elements, which this one didn't. So I was tricked. I apologise for shooting first and asking questions later, but I hope I've resolved this conflict. Anyway, Anchor out.
It was later revealed with discussions with Twist, who took the photo that I presented a few seconds earlier, and other members of the Crossroads, that ANCOM received the message from Blue. Now, why would someone make a photoshopped image of Mexi and Badmouse, the former of which is listed in one of the members of the so-called Doxxing server that is run by AnActualJoke? Now, if any of you are aware with my comments on Operation Anarchism, you would know that from my previous video, which was my second Q&A, that he actually congratulated fascists on killing pro-IDPOL leftists. And Mexi, coincidentally enough, happens to be pro-IDPOL. Let that sink in. Now that's one instance of Operation Anarchism photoshopping evidence. However, it doesn't stop there. Due to Ninja being nothing short of a liar, as well as an outright racist, as well as false flagging videos you can imagine, he copped a lot of criticism from his fellow comrades. So much so that he literally forged a legal document. Now, how, you may ask, is this document fake? Well, aside from the poor grammar, the poorly made logo, very, very official, and the fact that the grounds made in this document would basically lead to every single political YouTuber or personality being taken down on YouTube, I did a bit of looking into the company of Griffin Lawyers. Now, despite there being an actual Griffin Lawyers in America, where Operation Anarchism is stationed, I found no specialities of theirs that would deal with defamations via YouTube, only that they specialize in personal injury, workers' compensation, social security disability, or wrongful death. Also, according to people who knew him, including Welcome to Late Stage Capitalism, he not only admitted to faking the document, but would later go on the epitome of damage control and get someone to actually LARP as a quote-unquote lawyer in a live stream that he hosted. However, impersonating and faking news about other leftist YouTubers isn't necessarily something that's exclusive to Operation Anarchism alone, as Esoteric Entity has been known to impersonate other leftists online. An example of this can be seen in a video made by Right Wing Watch.
So I woke up this morning and found that someone made a copycat account and was posting racist, anti-Semitic, and pro-Hitler comments on my YouTube channel. I wasn't surprised because criticizing fascism gets you a lot of enemies on the right. I immediately had an idea who may have created this copycat channel. So there's this far-right anarcho-capitalist pro-Trump YouTuber called Esoteric Entity. who is literally obsessed with my channel and all of his social media accounts. He got upset when I informed him that I took a screenshot of his anti-Semitic post on Twitter. And lo and behold, when I checked his Twitter account, he had taken screenshots of his posts claiming they came from me. Now you can see he has taken a screenshot literally 1 second after posting his pro-Nazi rants. How stupid can you get? He even took a screenshot before even posting one of his comments. But I mean, you can't expect much better from someone who believed the InfoWars orchestrated fake news story, Pizzagate. As this channel continues to grow and people continue to educate themselves on the threat the far right poses to American democracy, freedom, and social justice, those who advocate these repressive views are getting more and more desperate to silence me through harassment and intimidation.
However, it doesn't stop there, comrades, as Esoteric Entity was also known to impersonate Democratic Socialist 01, and when he was confronted with this, and being proved that this was an impersonating account, he later wound up deleting the fake channel. Now, come on, Esoteric Entity! Taking a screen cap 1 second after the comment has been posted? Dear me. So, as we can see, both Operation Anarchism and Esoteric Entity are willing to fake evidence in order to further their political goals, to slander their opposition to take them out of the competition. However, this raises another question. Why would Esoteric Entity and Operation Anarchism not release data immediately if they knew about a doxing server, which, again, I have proved that I am not, along with some other YouTubers, a part of, and release said info until July? If you are guessing that both Esoteric Entity and Operation Anarchism are forging evidence, then you'd be right. But Batco, I could have sworn that there have been links that AnActualJoke encouraged doxing on her server. Well, to an extent, yes and no. Sonia has publicly admitted on Twitter that last year she had encouraged the doxing of fascists, though she later deleted the comments as well as a video she had uploaded, and said that the act of doxing is wrong. To say that Sonia's server encourages the act of doxing, however, is false, much like Thought Slime discourages any form of child pornography, doxing, etc. on his server. I mean, it's literally written in the fucking rules. Esoteric Entity, however, has been able to give a slight sliver of data that showed that Sonia encouraged people to report on another account. However, this in no way says that there was any doxing or that people were asking for this person's address. Rather, it states that the account ought to be reported for violence as they were sending threats. Now tell me, Esoteric Entity, is that so wrong? Now, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't stop there, because right after Esoteric Entity was caught with his pants down along with this server, he did what any level-headed individual would do. Esoteric Entity started banning people left and right. Now, I don't know if Esoteric Entity likes to main the Pyro on Team Fortress 2, but at least the Pyro doesn't inflict this much damage to his own teammates when looking for spies. Hell, you can tell he really got involved in the Man vs. Machine update because he started banning bots under the assumption that they were spies. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Esoteric Entity McNuked his server. So, just to recap, Esoteric Entity, a man who has been known to dox and forge evidence, is accusing YouTube leftists of doxing based on information from Blue, a man known to lie and forge evidence, has a collection of quote-unquote data that will be released in July, and is going to give it to Mr. Dapperton despite the fact that Blue released Mr. Dapperton's docs, and when confronted with his bullshit, started purging his server of spies, and then proceeded to McNuke his own server. What you are seeing here is the birth of an anarcho-capitalist, Academy Award-winning Suicide Squad. Now, Esoteric Entity, I know you're watching this, so I'll give you a few tips of advice from a fellow anarcho-hackerman Debaruni. Number 1. If you're going to accuse me of doxing, at least look into the people you're collaborating with. Believe me, it'll help you avoid drama. Number 2, it doesn't hurt to apologize. If you have a spine, you could at least apologize to the people who you accused of being doxers. despite there being no evidence for such at all. That includes, and I know it'll make you wrench a gut, yours truly. And thirdly, I'd advise... Oh wait, fuck. Oh shit, it's been confirmed. You know, fuck, the evidence has come through. I'm a doxer. You know, I'm guilty. Fuck, I'm just getting all this fucking image right now. I just checked on Discord. Yep, there it is. Me, solid proof of me being a fucking doxer. Oh, this, you know, fuck it. This is the end. My political credibility has been fucking ruined forever. Now, what was number 3 again? Oh, right, yeah. Esoteric entity, by all means, and I say this with the utmost sincerity, delete your fucking account. Alright, who's ready to go off and find the spy? Right behind you, cunt.